The next day, it was 8 a.m. on a weekend morning. Su Yuchen got dressed early and got up. After washing up, Su Yuchen went downstairs to the cafeteria for breakfast. After breakfast, she returned to her dormitory, ready to relax and have some fun. The task Xiaobai had given her yesterday came to mind, so she silently called out to Xiaobai. As expected, Xiaobai was remotely forced back into service by headquarters. Xiaobai asked irritably, "Stupid host, what's wrong?" But what she was thinking was, "You get a weekend off, why don't I, as a system, get one?" Su Yuchen heard Xiaobai's words and calmly asked, "Xiaobai, where are my task points from yesterday?" Xiaobai mumbled sleepily, "Task points." Xiaobai recalled her actions from yesterday. "Oh, right, there was such a thing." Immediately afterward, the sound of task points being credited to her account rang in Su Yuchen's mind. Xiaobai immediately perked up and asked, "Host, would you like to spin the wheel? The grand prize is related to the newbie gift pack you received when you first transmigrated." Su Yuchen's curiosity was piqued by Xiaobai's words. "Xiaobai, are you sure?" she asked. The smiley face on Xiaobai's electronic screen turned serious and said, "Host, I'm absolutely certain that today's grand prize is related to the newbie gift pack." Xiaobai was thinking to herself, "Are you kidding me? How could the information provided by headquarters be wrong?" The question was thrown back to Su Yuchen, who hesitated. She thought about it seriously. This lottery system is too much of a rip-off, with no guarantee of a win. Should I even try? Su Yuchen finally decided to go for it, even if it meant getting nothing. She made a snap decision and said, "Xiaobai, I'll try." The task points have been submitted, the lottery is about to begin, and the task points have been converted into value points for distribution. A spinning wheel appeared in Su Yuchen's mind. Strangely, the wheel didn't display the specific names of the items, only a large number of gift boxes. The wheel's pointer began to spin rapidly. However, what Su Yuchen didn't know was that Xiaobai could see through the gift boxes and their contents and abilities. On Xiaobai's electronic screen next to Su Yuchen, a huge question mark appeared. Xiaobai thought to itself, "Strange, I remember, isn't the host's main ability 5 characters?" Meanwhile, Su Yuchen stared at the spinning pointer. After a short while, the pointer stopped, and the gift boxes opened automatically. Looking at the golden light surrounding the gift boxes, Su Yuchen couldn't hide her excitement. "Xiaobai, I won. It's like winning 37 million with 20 yuan. Immediately afterward, Su Yuchen received a notification sound. "Congratulations, host, you have obtained the Pure Yang Holy Body." Seeing this, Su Yuchen felt something was amiss, so she looked at Xiaobai beside her and asked, "Xiaobai, is this my new ability?" Xiaobai looked at Su Yuchen and explained, "Host, this ability doesn't belong to our world. Therefore, it has no real use after you acquire it. We can exchange it after reporting to headquarters. Headquarters will compensate you with an equivalent ability." Hearing Xiaobai say this, Su Yuchen slowly breathed a sigh of relief. However, the expression on the small white electronic screen next to Su Yuchen kept changing. The small white screen muttered to itself, "Pure Yang Holy Body. How did this thing appear here?" The next second, the expression on the small white screen returned to normal. These cultivators at headquarters, how come they're getting dumber and dumber? They can't even distinguish their own abilities anymore, and they even had the transport system bring them here. The small white screen suddenly regretted its haste in reporting. It should have tried to squeeze some benefits out of those cultivators in the cultivation system. Su Yuchen was about to ask the small white screen a question when a notification popped into her mind. Ability credited. Duplicate acquisition has been automatically upgraded. Charming physique. 1. Right pointing arrow. 2. Up pointing arrow effect. Please explore on your own. Thank you. Su Yuchen was speechless after hearing this. That day, on a weekend, at 8:30 p.m., Liu Ruyan also got out of bed. Looking at Liu Rushui, who was still fast asleep not far away, Liu Ruyan quietly dressed and put on her shoes. She gently closed the door. She ate a quick breakfast and drove off. Meanwhile, Liu Yuyan was processing the documents her subordinate had just brought in. When Liu Yuyan saw Liu Ruyan arrive, her mood brightened. She said, "Ruyan, you're just in time. I have a lot to do here," Liu Yuyan said, taking Liu Ruyan's hand. Liu Yuyan took out half of the documents and said, Ruyan, these documents are for you. I've taught you how to do them. If you have any questions, be sure to ask me first, understand, Ruyan? Liu Ruyan nodded, indicating she understood. A short while later, the mountain of documents was processed by the two of them. Liu Yuyan looked at the completed documents and slowly breathed a sigh of relief. At this moment, someone entered, took the documents they had just processed, and gently closed the door behind them. Liu Yuyan calmly looked at Liu Ruyan and then said, Ruyan, you're 20 now. I've taught you everything I know. Our company is very stable. It's time for you to get some experience. Your father and I have discussed it, and we're planning to open a branch company. Liu Ruyan nodded. She recalled how she met Su Yuchen. Then she thought of Liu Rushui. She asked, what about my sister, Liu Rushui? Hearing Liu Ruyan's question, Liu Yuyan's face was full of confidence, as if this was expected. Your father and I have also discussed this. After your sister finishes high school, she'll go to the branch company with you. Liu Yuyan continued, all right, Ruyan, I've told you about this. You can tell me your thoughts. That's all. I have to go to work now. After saying this, Liu Yuyan left the room and closed the door. Only Liu Ruyan remained in the room, sitting in a chair, deep in thought. Time passed quickly, and in the blink of an eye, it was 8 o'clock in the evening. Liu Ruyan had prepared dinner and was waiting for Liu Rushui to come home. At 8:10 in the evening, Liu Rushui arrived home precisely on time. The two ate their dinner in silence, but Liu Ruyan was eating absent-mindedly. She was still thinking about what had happened that morning. Liu Rushui noticed Liu Ruyan's distracted state. She called out to Liu Ruyan, but the lost in thought Liu Ruyan didn't respond. Liu Rushui waved her hand in front of Liu Ruyan's face, and Liu Ruyan snapped out of her reverie and looked at her. Liu Rushui asked, Sister, what's wrong? Why are you so distracted while eating? Liu Ruyan turned to look at Liu Rushui and asked, Little sister, what kind of company do you think is both stable and profitable? Hearing Liu Ruyan's question, Liu Rushui thought seriously for a moment before slowly replying, Sister, I think men's cosmetics are pretty good. After all, most men care about their appearance when they're out. Liu Ruyan nodded, calmly looking at Liu Rushui, waiting for her to continue. Seeing this, Liu Rushui continued, Sister, you should know about diamonds. They don't hold their value, and they're not actually worth much money, it's just that the amount mind is controlled. And they even have the audacity to say, if you like a boy and want to marry him, you should buy him diamonds. Since they can use diamonds to symbolize love, then we can do the same. And then there are, February 14th, White Valentine's Day, May 20th, and some kind of International Women's Day for men. The first cup of milk tea in autumn, the first string of candied hawthorns in winter. Isn't it always the girls who spend money on the guys? Girls are more likely to be rational consumers, but are guys. While some are, they're very few, almost invisible. Just ignore that small minority. Once the company is more stable, we'll spend some money to hire marketing accounts or beauty bloggers. They'll say something like, if you like him, if you love him, buy him XXX. A girl who loves you might not spend money on you, but a girl who doesn't love you definitely won't. Family, this XXX cosmetic is amazing. After negotiating with the manufacturer, they agreed to sell it for XXX yuan per set. The blogger is really doing this for everyone. If you don't have enough money, ask your girlfriend to contribute. A girl who's unwilling to contribute even this much, why get married? She might as well just live with her right hand. Liu Ruyan pondered Liu Rushui's words. It seemed plausible. After all, with the male-to-female ratio so high, if the man cried, made a scene, and threatened to break up, most girls would give in. Liu Rushui added, this is just theory, I don't know the specifics. It's up to you, sister, to implement it. After dinner, Liu Ruyan lay in bed. Her mind was filled with Liu Rushui's words, and she eventually fell asleep. Monday, 6:30 a.m., Su Yuchen was woken by the school's wake-up call. Looking at the time on her phone, Su Yuchen sighed, I didn't expect to have to get up so early in this other world. Sigh. She quickly got dressed and went to wash up. Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan was fast asleep in bed. Until 8:30 a.m., Liu Ruyan reached under her pillow. She grabbed her phone, glanced at the time, and slowly got out of bed. After washing up, she ordered takeout, ate, and drove off. Meanwhile, Liu Yuyan was still processing her daily documents when she heard a knock at the door. Liu Yuyan said, "Come in." Liu Ruyan opened the door. Liu Yuyan looked at Liu Ruyan, a little surprised, then regained her composure and asked, "Ruyan, how are things? Have you decided what to do?" Liu Ruyan nodded and said, "Yesterday I asked my sister about some cosmetics she mentioned, and I think I could give them a try." Liu Yuyan thought for a moment. The cosmetics industry seemed like a viable option. After all, making money from men was much easier than from women. Then, Liu Yuyan nodded and said, "Okay, I'll give you 1.5 million first. If we make money, we can expand. If not, consider it experience and improve the product. Do you understand, Ruyan?" Liu Ruyan nodded seriously. The next day, Liu Ruyan finished breakfast early and started recruiting experienced people in this field on a job search platform. After posting the job information, Liu Ruyan consulted experts online. Then, based on the theoretical knowledge her mother had taught her, Liu Ruyan began market analysis, demand, consumer habits, pricing. Liu Ruyan looked at the data in her notebook while taking notes with her other hand. Time passed quickly. Before she knew it, it was noon. Liu Ruyan closed her notebook, letting out a slow sigh of relief. Looking at the notes she had made, she couldn't help but smile. She murmured to herself, "This morning went by so fast." Time for lunch. Liu Ruyan picked up her phone and opened a food delivery app. 20 minutes later, the deliveryman handed her the food. The deliveryman said, "Please give me 5 stars, thank you," and then quickly went downstairs. Liu Ruyan closed the door, opened the package, and began eating lunch. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Liu Ruyan was worrying about the production site issue. Then she thought of Liu Yuyan. Yes, mother knows many people, perhaps. Liu Ruyan immediately went out. Liu Yuyan sat in her office, drinking tea and looking at the contents of her notebook. Just then, she heard a knock at the door. Liu Yuyan smiled slightly. She knew who it was without even thinking. Liu Yuyan said, "Come in." As expected, she looked at Liu Ruyan as she entered. Liu Yuyan looked at Liu Ruyan and asked, "What's wrong, Ruyan? Is there a problem?" Liu Ruyan calmly replied, "Mom, could you find a production site for me?" Liu Yuyan thought for a moment and replied, "No problem, that's easy." Liu Yuyan then asked, "Anything else wrong?" Liu Ruyan didn't speak, but instead sat down on a chair nearby. Seeing this, Liu Yuyan didn't say anything more. The atmosphere was a little awkward. Just then, Liu Ruyan's phone rang. Liu Ruyan got up, walked out of the room, and closed the door behind her. She took out her phone from her pocket, unlocked it, and saw an unfamiliar number. Liu Ruyan answered the call with a puzzled expression. She waited quietly for the person on the other end to speak. Just then, a voice came from the phone. "Is this Liu Ruyan?" Liu Ruyan replied, "Yes, who are you?" The person on the other end didn't answer Liu Ruyan's question but continued, "What kind of compensation would I receive if I could provide cosmetics technical support?" Liu Ruyan thought for a moment and said, 12,000 a month, including room and board, how about that? The person on the other end of the phone fell silent. Liu Ruyan could only hear the sound of the wind on the other end. The person on the other end of the phone spoke again, "My skills are definitely above average in the industry. Let's meet when you have time and discuss this further. Goodbye." The person hung up after saying that. Liu Ruyan stared at the disconnected phone. Liu Ruyan's interest was piqued. Instead of discussing it on the recruitment app, she called back. Liu Ruyan muttered to herself, "Let me see if you're a true master or just a know-it-all." 3 days later, 9:30 a.m., Liu Ruyan looked at her other notebook. She picked up a pen and muttered to herself. The supplier, the packaging company, and the production site issues were all resolved thanks to her mother. Then Liu Ruyan crossed out several entries from the notebook. Liu Ruyan looked at the job postings she had published on her laptop. As expected, there were no responses. Except for the person who had called the day before yesterday. Liu Ruyan sighed. Talent in this field is truly scarce. Liu Ruyan thought about what the person on the phone had said. She picked up her phone from the table and made a call. On the other end, Zhang Ruaoshui was watching TV at home when her phone rang. Zhang Ruaoshui knew who was calling, picked up her phone, and answered. Zhang Ruaoshui said confidently, "I knew you would call back." Liu Ruyan calmly asked on the other end, "When would you have time to meet today?" Zhang Ruaoshui thought carefully for a moment, glancing at the half-finished document beside her. Then she said, let's do it at 4:30 this afternoon. You can tell me the location. Liu Ruyan thought for a moment and said, at XX Cafe. I hope you can be there on time. Zhang Ruoxue looked at the phone that had been hung up. She glanced at the document again. She picked up the remote and turned off the TV. She sighed. They called back after 3 days. She had thought it would be 5 days before she heard anything. She should be able to describe the details clearly before 4 p.m. Zhang Ruoxue looked at the documents she had prepared. She picked up a ballpoint pen and muttered to herself. Well, looks like I'll have to work overtime, then. Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan also drew a question mark on the technology and R&D section of her notebook. Then she proceeded to the next step of her plan. And, she muttered to herself, I hope you won't disappoint me. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Liu Ruyan left home and drove off in her car. Meanwhile, Zhang Ruoxue put her painstakingly written capital report into a folder, then put the folder in her bag and left home. 20 minutes later, Liu Ruyan entered a coffee shop and found a corner seat. She ordered 2 coffees. She took out her phone and called Zhang Ruoxue. Zhang Ruoxue had just arrived at the coffee shop entrance when her phone rang in her bag. Zhang Ruoxue didn't answer the phone. Instead, she walked into the coffee shop, searching for Liu Ruyan's location. Her gaze fell on the woman in the corner. Zhang Ruoxue walked over, put down her bag, and sat down opposite her. She asked, Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan heard someone call her name and moved her gaze from her phone to the woman. She said, you're quite punctual. Zhang Ruoxue smiled slightly and said, nice to meet you. My name is Zhang Ruoxue. Seeing this, Liu Ruyan didn't waste any words and asked directly, tell me your requirements. And what can you do? Zhang Ruoxue calmly looked at Liu Ruyan and confidently said, I'll provide the technology. You provide the capital and management. I want 30% of the company's shares. Zhang Ruoxue took the capital folder out of her bag and handed it to Liu Ruyan, saying, take a look at this. Liu Ruyan took the folder from Zhang Ruoxue, opened it, and looked through it. The contents were all about cosmetics, base materials, active ingredients, auxiliary materials. Zhang Ruoxue looked at Liu Ruyan and asked, how about it? You and I, the two of us, starting a company, we can definitely make it big. Liu Ruyan looked at Zhang Ruoxue and replied, of course, but I have a question for you. With your excellent abilities, you should be in management at a company, not looking for jobs on recruitment apps. What are you doing? Zhang Ruoxue understood Liu Ruyan's meaning. Recalling her own experience, she sighed slightly, looked at Liu Ruyan, and explained, I've been working at my previous company since I was 20. I tried my best to complete my daily tasks, sometimes even working overtime. Back then, I thought I would live a peaceful and uneventful life. 2 months ago, my boss asked me to mentor a new employee. I naturally knew the saying, teach your apprentice and you'll starve, so I didn't teach her some details. This day last month was the day I was laid off. She arrogantly thought she had learned all my skills. The result was that I was laid off by the boss the very next day. Later I found out she was a relative of the boss, and only needed a salary of 7,000 a month. Compared to 12,000, firing me would definitely save money. However, my previous boss readily gave me severance pay. After all, I earned quite a bit every day. After chatting with Zhang Ruoxue for a while, Liu Ruyan went back to prepare other things. Over the next few days, Liu Ruyan proceeded according to her plan. Approving the company name, submitting required materials. A month later, Liu Ruyan's company was operating normally. With Zhang Ruoxue's technical support and Liu Yunyan's financial backing, the company was considered to be at a mid-level within the industry. One morning around 8 a.m., Liu Ruyan entered her office and sat down to eat breakfast. Hearing a knock on the door, Liu Ruyan called out, come in. Zhang Ruoxue entered and closed the door behind her. Liu Ruyan looked at Zhang Ruoxue and asked, is there some paperwork or something else? Zhang Ruoxue shook her head and asked, could it be? In your eyes, Liu Ruyan, is my visit only for work-related matters? Liu Ruyan countered, isn't that right? Zhang Ruoxue was about to speak. At that moment, there was another knock on the door. Liu Ruyan and Zhang Ruoxue exchanged a glance, then Liu Ruyan called out again, come in. A man entered, carrying several documents. Liu Ruyan looked at the documents on the table, her feelings a mix of emotions. She murmured to herself, looking at the documents, perhaps I should hire another person to relieve my stress. Then Liu Ruyan began processing the documents on the table, while Zhang Ruaoshui watched quietly beside her. After Liu Ruyan finished processing the documents, a staff member came in and took them away. Liu Ruyan slumped onto the table. At this moment, Zhang Ruaoshui spoke up. Ms. Yan, the company's stabilized. When are we going to celebrate? Liu Ruyan looked at Zhang Ruaoshui and calmly replied, celebrating isn't out of the question. But, Liu Ruyan paused. Zhang Ruaoshui asked, but what? Liu Ruyan answered, I'm afraid it won't work this month. I don't have time. We'll have to wait until next month. Also, I'll leave the time and place to you, Ruaoshui. Zhang Ruaoshui nodded. Liu Ruyan looked at Zhang Ruaoshui and said, Ruaoshui, you can go out now. I didn't sleep well yesterday. I'll take a nap on the table. Hearing Liu Ruyan say this, Zhang Ruaoshui left and closed the door. Liu Ruyan lay on the table, and after some time, she gradually fell asleep. One Saturday morning at 10 a.m., Su Yuchen got up, made her bed, washed up, and ate the instant noodles she'd bought the day before in her dorm room. With her other hand, she typed, updating her novel. Su Yuchen's roommates gradually woke up. The other three got up slowly. After washing up, the three went out of school to eat, leaving Su Yuchen alone in the dorm, still typing. Time passed quickly, and 2 hours went by. Su Yuchen looked at her 3 drafts. She slowly breathed a sigh of relief. These next 2 days could be a good time to relax. She lay in bed and started playing games. At this moment, Xiaobai's voice rang in her mind. Host doesn't seem like a high school student at all. Su Yuchen retorted. Then what do you think a high school student is like, Xiaobai? Xiaobai thought for a moment and replied. I'll review the knowledge I've learned over the past 3 years, strengthen my weak areas, practice problems, and summarize what I've learned. But host, all you do is play video games all day. Take a break and read a book, okay? Su Yuchen, hearing this, said, don't be annoying, okay? Xiaobai replied, I only said a couple of things to you, and you say I'm annoying. This system just wants the host to study hard. All I see the host doing is playing video games in the dorm all day. Su Yuchen, her face full of confidence, said, Xiaobai, with my intelligence and the original owner's abilities, getting into university is absolutely no problem. Hearing Su Yuchen's confidence, Xiaobai remained silent. The game ended quickly, and Su Yuchen felt sleepy, so she covered her head with her clothes and fell asleep. Sometime later, the other 3 returned to the dorm. Seeing Su Yuchen sleeping, they lay quietly on their bunks, eating snacks and scrolling through their phones. They were careful not to disturb her. A short while later, Su Yuchen woke up, lifting her clothes with one hand and reaching under her pillow with the other. She grabbed her phone, checked the time, 3:30 p.m., and sat up, trying to wake herself up. Seeing Su Yuchen like this, Qin Yan took a bottle of cola from his bag and tossed it to her, saying, Here, have some. It'll cheer you up. Su Yuchen glanced at Qin Yan and said, Thanks, I'll treat you next time. With no one sleeping in the dorm, the 4 of them started chatting. The atmosphere became lively. They were chatting idly. Suddenly, Qin Yan spoke up, How about we play a little game? The other 3 looked at Qin Yan. They asked, What game? Qin Yan put on his shoes, took out a small desk he had bought from under the bed, and placed it on the floor. He then took out an empty Coke bottle. Looking at Su Yuchen, he said, Yuchen, get me some stools. Su Yuchen got 4 stools and placed them at the 4 corners of the small desk. Seeing everything ready, Qin Yan said to the other 3, Let me explain the rules first. The bottle will be spun in the order of east, south, west, north. The person the bottle points to choose, truth or dare. If the bottle points to you, it's the next person's turn to spin it. If the bottle doesn't point to any of the 4 of us, we spin it again until it points to someone. After explaining the rules, Qin Yan sat down in the south seat. Shen Mokshuan sat in the east seat, and Cheng Yunxi sat in the west seat. Only the north seat remained, and Su Yuchen, seeing this, sat down in the north seat. The game started quickly. Shen Mokshuan vigorously spun the cola bottle, and everyone waited nervously for the result. The Coke bottle spun slower and slower, eventually veering slightly off course from Su Yuchen's direction. Seeing this, Shen Mokshuan spun the bottle again, this time pointing it at Qin Yan. Shen Mokshuan smiled and said, "You choose first." Qin Yan looked at Shen Mokshuan, wondering what the dare was. Shen Mokshuan thought for a moment, picked up his phone, and said, "You, Qin Yan, admit you're not as handsome as me, Shen Mokshuan, and you want me to record this." Hearing Shen Mokshuan's words, Qin Yan quickly abandoned that option. Then what was the other option? Shen Mokshuan thought for a moment. Then he asked, "Have you ever seen that kind of thing?" Qin Yan was about to ask about that kind of thing when she quickly realized her mistake. Her face gradually turned red. She replied, "No, isn't that kind of thing only girls like to watch?" Shen Mokshuan stood up, slowly approached Qin Yan, and said, "Really?" "Yes." Qin Yan remained seated on the stool, her heart pounding, but she still forced herself to answer. "I said I haven't seen it, and that means no." Seeing this, Shen Mokshuan retreated to his seat. He said, "Okay, I'll believe you for now, but if I draw you again next time, I don't know what I'll do." Qin Yan breathed a sigh of relief, turned the bottle. Perhaps it was fate. The cola bottle pointed at Shen Mokshuan. Shen Mokshuan looked at Qin Yan with a faint smile on his face, and then asked, "How does Qin Yan want to play?" Qin Yan said, "The dare is to show us your browser history on your phone." Shen Mokshuan readily handed over his phone. Su Yuchen was also intrigued and looked at the phone. But everything was normal, there was no inappropriate content. Now it was Cheng Yunxi's turn. The four of them watched the rapidly spinning Coke bottle. The camera pointed directly at Su Yuchen. Cheng Yunxi looked at Su Yuchen, who then spoke up. "Truth or dare?" Cheng Yunxi looked at Su Yuchen, somewhat hesitant. He didn't know what to ask her to do. Seeing this, Qin Yan suggested, "How about we check out Yuchen's shopping app? I'm curious. Yuchen is so fair-skinned, what cosmetics does she use?" Su Yuchen readily opened the shopping app on her phone and placed it on the small desk. The three looked at the mecha models in her shopping app's collection. Qin Yan spoke first. "Xiao Chen is really special, always liking things that girls like to play with." Su Yuchen was about to retort when she heard Qin Yan say this, but then remembered she wasn't in her original world and remained silent, waiting quietly. Shen Mokshuan suddenly spoke up. "There are some things on my phone that I haven't bought, but I'm too embarrassed to ask my family for money. After deducting your meal expenses, do you three have any money left? I'll pay you back next month when my meal allowance comes through." The four looked at each other, and a silence fell. At this moment, Qin Yan suddenly broke the silence. "Why don't we check some job postings online? There should be some daily paid jobs." The other three looked at Qin Yan. Unable to bear their stares, Qin Yan took his phone and went to a job posting app to look for daily paid work. Su Yuchen heard Xiao Bai's voice in her mind. "Host, doing this daily paid job will give you 5 task points." Su Yuchen didn't reply. Instead, she looked at the other two and asked, "If there's a daily paid job, do you want to go together?" Shen Mokshuan and Cheng Yunxi answered simultaneously, "Yes." Su Yuchen smiled at the two. At this moment, Qin Yan walked over with his phone. There was a daily paid waiter job, 140 yuan a day. Shen Mokshuan asked, "Next Saturday?" Qin Yan spoke up, "I'll make things clear with them. If they don't need anyone next Saturday, we'll have to look elsewhere." After a brief exchange, Qin Yan explained the situation. The other party said they were available next Saturday and would welcome anyone who came. The matter was ultimately settled. Same day, Saturday, 9 a.m. Su Yuchen was still asleep. Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan woke up, sat up in bed, and looked at Liu Rushui, who was still sleeping beside her. She quietly got dressed and gently closed the door behind her as she left. She recalled her chat with Zhang Ruaoshui on the app yesterday. "Zhang Ruaoshui is really strange, why did she suddenly want to come to my house as a guest?" Liu Ruyan went into the kitchen, opened the refrigerator door, and found only a bunch of eggs and a small amount of cola inside. Seeing this, Liu Ruyan closed the refrigerator door, changed into her usual shoes, and drove to the supermarket. 15 minutes later, Liu Ruyan returned home carrying 2 large bags. After entering the house, she put the groceries on the floor, muttering to herself, "So heavy, I'm exhausted. This should last us a while. That Liu Rushui, sigh, I should talk to her about it sometime." After catching her breath, Liu Ruyan moved on to the next step. Looking at the overflowing refrigerator, Liu Ruyan let out a long sigh. Then, Liu Ruyan sat on the sofa and turned on the TV. A moment later, there was a knock at the door. Liu Ruyan instinctively said, "Come in." After waiting a while without a response, she remembered that it was Saturday, and she was at home. Liu Ruyan got up and opened the door. Zhang Ruoxue outside the door quietly looked at Liu Ruyan inside. Liu Ruyan apologized somewhat shyly. "I'm sorry, Ruoxue, it's a habit. Please come in and sit down." After Zhang Ruoxue came in, Liu Ruyan closed the door. Zhang Ruoxue placed the 2 boxes of gifts she was carrying against the wall. Liu Ruyan opened the tea canister, grabbed a little tea, and put it in her cup. Zhang Ruoxue looked around at the various items in the room and said, "It's still a bit different from what I expected." Liu Ruyan was puzzled and asked, "What's wrong?" Liu Ruyan placed the brewed tea on the table. Zhang Ruoxue replied, "Nothing." She continued, "We've found a place to celebrate the company opening. The time is next Saturday at noon." Hearing Zhang Ruoxue say this, Liu Ruyan thought seriously for a moment and muttered to herself, "Next Saturday." Then, looking calmly at Zhang Ruoxue, she replied, "Okay, anyway, I don't have anything to do next Saturday." Seeing this, Zhang Ruoxue continued, "As for the expenses, I'll pay half, and you pay half, we'll split the bill." Seeing Zhang Ruozu's reaction, Liu Ruyan said, "No need for that. I can handle the money." Liu Ruyan and Zhang Ruoxue were still chatting. Suddenly, the bedroom door opened. Liu Ruoxue, who had just gotten up, seemed a bit listless. She glanced at Liu Ruyan and said, "Good morning, sister." After saying that, she went to wash up. Liu Ruyan looked at Zhang Ruoxue and explained, "This is Liu Ruoxue, my younger sister." Zhang Ruoyu nodded upon hearing this. After washing up, Liu Ruoxue sat down next to Liu Ruyan. With a gossipy attitude, she waited for the two to start a conversation. Seeing this, Liu Ruyan introduced Liu Ruoxue, "This is Zhang Ruoxue, my business partner." Zhang Ruoxue politely extended her hand and said, "My name is Zhang Ruoxue. Nice to meet you." Liu Ruoxue grasped Zhang Ruozu's hand and said, "Me too, nice to meet you." Time passed, and as the three chatted, the sun rose high in the sky. Liu Ruyan glanced at her phone and said, "It's 11:30. Ruoxue, would you like to stay for dinner?" Zhang Ruoxue replied, "I have something to do, so I won't stay. I'll be going now." After saying this, Zhang Ruoxue left and closed the door. Liu Ruyan called Liu Union. Friday afternoon, after school, Su Yuchen opened the dormitory door and saw the other 3 students huddled together talking. Seeing this, Su Yuchen went in, her face full of doubt, and asked, "What's wrong? What are you talking about, or is something fun?" Qin Yan sighed when he saw Su Yuchen return and explained to her, "We need to get up at 6:30 tomorrow, have some breakfast, and leave school at 7 o'clock. I'll ride a shared bike for half an hour to work, then rest for about half an hour. I can work from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., so we can't have a good time tonight." Su Yuchen nodded when she heard Qin Yan say this. "Okay." Seeing this, Shen Mokshuan said, "To ensure we're more energetic tomorrow, we'll turn off the lights and go to sleep at 10 p.m. tonight. If you need to use your phone, please mute it and manage your time so as not to disturb others. 11 p.m. Su Yuchen set her alarm and fell asleep. The next day, it was 6:30 in the morning. Xiaobai looked at Su Yuchen, who was still sleeping. It muttered to itself, "Strange, didn't this guy set an alarm yesterday? Why didn't the alarm go off?" Xiaobai quickly figured it out and took out the stun gun again. Xiaobai seemed to be reassuring itself, "It's okay, the host will understand." A circle of light appeared under Su Yuchen's blanket. Xiaobai turned on the stun gun and held it to Su Yuchen. On the other side of the circle of light was Xiaobai's mechanical hand. Seeing that Su Yuchen was about to wake up, Xiaobai put the stun gun away, and the circle of light disappeared. Su Yuchen sat up. Looking at the 3 people who were already up, she quickly got dressed. After eating some food, each of them scanned a shared bicycle and rode off. The process went exceptionally smoothly, and they arrived at 7:20. Time passed quickly. At 7:50, a staff member came and took the 4 of them away. After changing into work clothes, the staff member began assigning tasks. "You, go to the kitchen. I'll show you how to do it in a bit." Cheng Yunxi walked towards the kitchen. The three of you, go serve the dishes. The staff member left after giving instructions. Business started at 8 o'clock, and for some reason, business was booming. Even though Su Yuchen had experience in her previous life, it was ultimately a newbie account with the mind of a master. The original account's stamina wasn't very high, but Su Yuchen persevered. Just when Su Yuchen was about to give up, finally, the 1-hour break arrived, and Su Yuchen slowly breathed a sigh of relief. Just then, Liu Ruyan's car pulled up in front of the restaurant. Zhang Ruaoshui also drove up. Su Yuchen, who had only rested for 20 minutes, had to start working again. Even this model student couldn't help but swear, "Eat, eat, eat. Eat you byd gluttons to death." Reluctantly, for the sake of the mecha model, she put on her work clothes and went to work. While serving the food, Su Yuchen wasn't paying attention and kicked over a glass full of drinks on the table. Although Qin Yan tried to salvage the situation, the drink still spilled down the table and onto Liu Ruyan's legs. Liu Ruyan turned off her phone. Then she looked up from her phone at Su Yuchen. Seeing it was Su Yuchen, she was initially shocked, but quickly recovered, smiled, and said, "Yuchen, do you remember me?" Su Yuchen looked at Liu Ruyan and replied, "I remember, you are Liu Rushui's older sister." Upon hearing Su Yuchen's words, Liu Ruyan's face remained calm, but she felt a little happy inside. He then continued to ask, "Do you remember what I told you before?" Su Yuchen tried hard to recall what Liu Ruyan had said. Liu Ruyan waited quietly for Su Yuchen to answer. Meanwhile, Su Yuchen mentally pleaded for help from Xiaobai. However, Xiaobai was preoccupied with how to squeeze some money out of Su Yuchen. Xiaobai answered, 3 mission points. Seeing Xiaobai's reaction, Su Yuchen remembered her newbie gift pack, and didn't agree to Xiaobai's request. Seeing Su Yuchen remain silent, Liu Ruyan sighed and said, "If you can't remember, then forget it." Liu Yuyan and Zhang Ruaoshui each held a slice of watermelon. Liu Yuyan, Zhang Ruaoshui, and Qin Yan watched the scene unfold with amusement. Just then, a restaurant manager noticed the commotion and quickly approached. Seeing the half-empty drink, they understood what had happened. Looking at Su Yuchen, they said, "Apologize to this lady." Su Yuchen said, "I'm sorry." Liu Ruyan, however, said, "I'm not very satisfied." Su Yuchen was puzzled, unsure of Liu Ruyan's meaning. At that moment, Xiaobai mentally reminded Su Yuchen, "Add a form of address before apologizing, you idiot." Su Yuchen spoke again, "Sister, I'm sorry." Liu Ruyan, hearing this pleasant voice, drifted off into thought. If only she could make him call her sister, or mom. In bed, Liu Yuyan, standing nearby, dismissed the restaurant manager. Su Yuchen, observing Liu Ruyan's absent-mindedness, waited quietly. As the saying goes, no one knows a daughter better than her mother. Liu Yuyan called out to Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan snapped out of her reverie and said, "Okay, I accept your apology." Then, Liu Ruyan changed the subject, "But, how should you compensate me for my dirty pants?" Hearing this, Su Yuchen said, "I'll give you 30 yuan. You can take them to a dry cleaner when you have time." Liu Ruyan paused for a moment, then smiled slightly and said, "I don't need those $30. Upon hearing Liu Ruyan's words, Su Yuchen asked in confusion, "So how would you like me to make amends?" Upon hearing Su Yuchen's words, Liu Ruyan countered with a question, "What do you think?" Su Yuchen shook her head, indicating she didn't know. At this moment, Liu Ruyan stood up, pinched Su Yuchen's chin with her fingers, and slowly lifted her hand. She made Su Yuchen meet her gaze. Then she spoke, "I want the rest of your life as compensation." Having been single for over 20 years in her previous life, Su Yuchen had never experienced anything like this. Her face quickly flushed. Seeing Su Yuchen's reaction, Liu Ruyan moved even closer. She blew a breath into Su Yuchen's ear. Then she continued, "Don't worry, I won't bother you too much before your college entrance exam is over. This is a promise between your sister and me." After speaking, Liu Ruyan released Su Yuchen. Liu Ruyan said, "Remember the compensation I mentioned, you can't escape it." Liu Ruyan returned to her seat and began to eat. After Su Yuchen left, Zhang Ruaoshui looked at Liu Ruyan and said jokingly, "President Yan, I didn't realize you liked this type. If that white-haired little boy is underage, you'll be in jail." Liu Ruyan replied, "That white-haired little boy is the same age as my sister." Besides, if I go to jail, no one will pay your salaries. Zhang Ruaoshui continued, don't forget to invite me when President Liu and the white-haired little boy get married. Liu Ruyan replied, don't worry, how could I not invite you? At 6:30 p.m., the four returned to their dormitory. Su Yuchen lay on her bed, thinking to herself, this is even more tiring than sorting packages in my past life. At this moment, Xiao Bai's voice rang in her mind. Ding, task completed, 5 task points credited. Hearing Xiao Bai's voice, Su Yuchen thought of something and asked, System, earning money by myself is too tiring. Is there an easier way? Xiao Bai replied to Su Yuchen's question. Yes, host, yes, there are many methods like this. The host can use their task points to exchange for it, but you'll have to wait until tomorrow. Su Yuchen asked, somewhat puzzled, why tomorrow? At this moment, Xiao Bai only had one sentence left. If you want to exchange money, wait until tomorrow. This system is going into hibernation. Goodbye. Inside the system's alternate dimension, Xiao Bai thought seriously for a moment. If I use my value points to buy money from those super rich systems, and then adjust the price and sell it to Su Yuchen, wouldn't I be rich? Exiting its own alternate dimension, Xiao Bai flew back towards headquarters. While flying within headquarters, Xiao Bai suddenly saw 0791.0791 also saw Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai spoke first. 0791, what were the numbers of those rich guys again? 0791, hearing Xiao Bai's question, replied, 01000-01999. What's wrong? Xiao Bai answered, nothing, I've found a way to earn value points. I'll treat you to some high-energy drinks later. Hearing Xiao Bai say this, 0791 said, I really envy you having a host. You only need to issue tasks and then cash out from the host to exchange for them. Those of us who weren't selected, can only stay bored in headquarters. Xiao Bai replied, not necessarily. If the host accumulates task points and doesn't use the system, we won't just be left watching. Xiao Bai stretched out his hand, and a halo quickly appeared, enveloping it. Xiao Bai withdrew his hand, the halo disappeared, and he held a bottle of high-grade energy. Xiao Bai handed it to 0791. Then he said, you drink this first, I have to go. A short while later, Xiao Bai saw a godly rich system. Looking at the number on the back of the system, he called out, 01777, wait a minute. 01777 turned around and looked at the value points in 512's hand. He asked, do you want to trade with me? Xiao Bai replied, yes, but the situation is a bit complicated. A few months later, Su Yuchen was taking an exam in the examination hall. While other students were scratching their heads, trying to find the answers, Su Yuchen was rapidly writing down the questions on the exam paper. Was it because she was good at studying? But even top students need to think before they solve problems. Before the exam, Su Yuchen entered the examination hall and, after sitting down, began negotiating with Xiao Bai in her mind. Su Yuchen said, Xiao Bai, help me get full marks in every subject, and I'll give you my mission points for free, how about that? Xiao Bai was excited to hear this. It asked, host, are you serious? Su Yuchen replied, seriously true. Xiao Bai said, host, relax, just give me control of the body. The college entrance exam ended quickly. Su Yuchen returned home, went into her room, and took out a mecha model from her bag. He muttered to himself, this is what men like, during the holiday. One Saturday morning at 9:30, Su Yuchen woke up and sat up in bed. After drinking some water, she forced herself to stay awake and groggily put on a short-sleeved shirt and shoes. She opened the door and saw Su Yuyan sitting on the sofa, saying, good morning, sister. Su Yuchen stretched, unaware that her slender waist was exposed. Liu Ruyan, sitting on another sofa, was watching Su Yuchen's unconsciously exposed waist. After all, such a sight was rare, seeing Su Yuchen like this. Su Yuyan quickly went over, shook her, and said, go back to your room and get dressed before washing up. She escorted her younger brother to his room, closing the door behind her. Turning to Liu Ruyan, she asked, what were you looking at just now? Liu Ruyan's eyes darted away, and she said, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Seeing Liu Ruyan's attempt to deny it, Su Yuyan didn't say much and changed the subject to continue their casual conversation. Yes, Since Su Yuchen finished her college entrance exams, Liu Ruyan had been visiting Su Yuyan's house every few days. After 2 or 3 visits, Su Yuyan and Liu Ruyan became friends. Each time Liu Ruyan came, she brought gifts, saying she wanted to visit Su Yuyan, but her attention was always focused on Su Yuchen. Only 3 people truly mattered to Liu Ruyan. One was Liu Yuyan, Liu Ruyan's mother. One was Su Yuyan, her future sister. And one was Su Yuchen, her future husband. After carefully dressing, Su Yuchen went out, closed the door, and went to wash up. After washing up, Su Yuchen sat on the sofa. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Su Yuchen opened the door, and the staff member outside smiled politely and asked, "Hello, are you Su Yuchen?" Su Yuchen replied, "Yes." The staff member took an acceptance letter from their bag and handed it to Su Yuchen, and said, "Your acceptance letter. Wishing you a pleasant life." Su Yuchen reached out and took the acceptance letter, saying, "Thank you." The worker outside the door paused for a moment, then said, "You're welcome." The staff left after completing the handover. Su Yuchen closed the door. On the same day, 10:30 a.m., Liu Ruyan sat on the sofa, looking at Su Yuyan, her mind racing. Liu Ruyan calmly asked, "Sister Yan, what are we having for lunch today?" Su Yuyan thought seriously for a moment and said, "It's been a long time since we had hot pot. Let's have hot pot for lunch today." Liu Ruyan asked again, "How much side dishes left in the fridge?" Su Yuyan went into the kitchen, opened the fridge, and looked at the small amount of lamb left. Looking at the small amount of lamb and the few side dishes, she reluctantly closed the fridge door, walked out of the kitchen, picked up her phone, and looked at Liu Ruyan on the sofa, saying, "I'm going out for a bit. You wait in the living room, or go to my room. Xiao Chen is sleeping, don't disturb him, okay?" Liu Ruyan replied to Su Yuyan, "I understand. I, Liu Ruyan, am a virtuous person and would never do anything immoral." However, what she was really thinking was, when will Su Yuyan finally leave? Liu Ruyan sat on the sofa, waiting for Su Yuyan to go out to buy things. To Liu Ruyan's anticipation, Su Yuyan closed the door and went to the supermarket. Liu Ruyan stood up and walked towards Su Yuchen's room. She muttered to herself, "A virtuous person. Is she more important than her future husband? Besides, she was just cultivating a relationship with Su Yuchen. She would absolutely not do anything out of line." Liu Ruyan gently opened the door to Su Yuchen's room, went inside, and then gently closed the door again. Liu Ruyan observed Su Yuchen's room. Before her was a table with a small lamp on it. Next to the lamp was a photo frame containing the same picture as the one in her WeChat moments. 3 mecha models stood steadily to the right of the table. To the left of the table was a double bed, the blankets folded flat beside it. On the bed, Su Yuchen was sleeping, her head up, her upper body covered by a garment. Posters of various anime were plastered on the wall. Liu Ruyan, as if possessed, used her hand to pull back the clothes covering Su Yuchen's upper body. Looking at the sleeping Su Yuchen, Liu Ruyan's heart pounded. 2 little figures were battling in her mind. The little figure on the left spoke first. "Liu Ruyan, you can't do this. Think about how you promised Su Yuyan." The little figure on the right, however, struck the little figure on the left on the head with a weapon, saying, "Liu Ruyan, that's your future husband. Isn't it normal to cultivate feelings for him now?" The little figure on the left wanted to say something more, but was struck on the head again by the little figure on the right. The little figure on the left straightened up, then fell down. In the end, the little figure on the left was defeated. Liu Ruyan murmured to herself, "That's right, her future husband, what's wrong with cultivating feelings for him now?" Then Liu Ruyan leaned forward, supporting herself with one hand on the bed, and using the other to brush her hair back. Her face drew closer and closer. Just as she was about to kiss him, the door to the room opened. Su Yuyan said, "Xiaochen, we're having hot pot for lunch today." When Su Yuyan saw what was happening, she was first shocked. Then, a hint of anger rose in her eyes. She said, "Liu Ruyan, what are you doing here? What did I tell you before I left?" Su Yuchen was awakened by her older sister's voice. Seeing Liu Ruyan's face so close to hers, Su Yuchen's face quickly flushed. When Liu Ruyan tried to get up, she lost her balance due to nervousness. She collapsed onto Su Yuchen. Feeling the pressure from Liu Ruyan's capital, Su Yuchen's face turned even redder. Liu Ruyan saw Su Yuchen's face almost turning into a steamy mess. She quickly got up and apologized. Xiao Chen, I'm sorry. Then Su Yuyan pulled Liu Ruyan out and closed the door behind her. Su Yuyan immediately said, Liu Ruyan, explain what happened just now. Liu Ruyan explained the whole situation to Su Yuyan, and said, Sister Yan, you said you would allow Xiao Chen to date freely after high school. Su Yuyan chuckled softly and countered with a question, Xiao Chen agreed to be your girlfriend. Liu Ruyan was stunned by Su Yuyan's words. Because Liu Ruyan only knew she liked Su Yuchen, but she hadn't asked Su Yuchen if he liked her back. Seeing Liu Ruyan's reaction, Su Yuyan continued, my friend sneaked into my brother's room while I was out and tried to take advantage of him. Hearing Su Yuyan say this, Liu Ruyan felt a suffocating sensation, like being coiled by a python. She quickly changed the subject, Sister Yan, what does Xiao Chen like to do? Seeing Liu Ruyan change the subject, Su Yuyan didn't say much, thought seriously for a moment, and looked at Liu Ruyan as she explained. Xiao Chen usually, after lunch, Liu Ruyan received a phone call and drove away. Okay, actually I think it's quite necessary down pointing arrow feedback collection point several readers pointed out issues with the characters' dialogue. I'll gradually correct those in the earlier chapters. I finished this chapter and reviewed it myself, and it should be fine. On the first day of school, Su Yuchen rode in Liu Ruyan's car to school. Liu Ruyan, driving, asked immediately, Xiao Chen, what do you think of me? Su Yuchen hesitated for a moment, then replied, Sister Yan is very good to me, just like my own sister. Liu Ruyan seemed dissatisfied with Su Yuchen's answer. Liu Ruyan continued, Xiao Chen, don't you have any other feelings? Su Yuchen shook her head upon hearing this. Liu Ruyan saw Su Yuchen shaking her head in the rearview mirror, and said, okay, Xiao Chen, you don't know me very well, that's why you gave that answer. Liu Ruyan sighed and continued, it seems we need more time to get to know each other. Liu Ruyan drove quietly. Su Yuchen sat quietly in the back seat, reflecting on yesterday's events. Let's rewind to yesterday. It was 12:30 p.m. Su Yuchen and Su Yuyan were watching TV and eating lunch, chatting idly. Just then, Su Yuyan's phone rang. Seeing this, Su Yuyan picked up her phone and went to her room. After coming out of her room, Su Yuyan sat on the sofa and sighed. Seeing Su Yuyan like this, Su Yuchen immediately asked, Sister, what's wrong? Seeing this, Su Yuyan touched Su Yuchen's head and explained, Sister is fine, it's just that there's a small problem at my company. Sister can't take you to school tomorrow. Seeing this, Su Yuchen nodded and said, it's okay, sister, I can go to school by myself. Su Yuyan was naturally very happy to hear Su Yuchen say this, but still said, Little Chen is so sensible, but I'll worry about little Chen going to school by herself. Su Yuchen thought seriously for a moment, then picked up her phone again. She diligently searched for a phone number. Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan was chatting with her mother at home. Suddenly, Liu Ruyan's phone rang. What are you doing? Oh dear. Did Xiao Haitzi use artificial flavoring to fry fish? Does Xiao Haitzi want to eat rice with noodles? How am I supposed to eat lychees? Will you apologize? Liu Ruyan picked up her phone and answered the call. Liu Ruyan listened to Su Yuyan recount the events. Then, she confidently replied, okay, I'll take Xiao Chen to school tomorrow. Upon hearing Liu Ruyan's agreement, Su Yuyan breathed a sigh of relief. She said, thank you so much, Ruyan. Let's have a meal together sometime. Hearing Su Yuyan say this, Liu Ruyan immediately replied, okay, I'll wait for you to treat me to a meal. Immediately after, Su Yuyan hung up the phone. Looking at Su Yuchen, she said, Xiao Chen, your sister Yan will take you to school tomorrow. Time flew by, and evening arrived in the blink of an eye. Su Yuchen looked at the various daily necessities she had packed and nodded in satisfaction. Then she went to bed. Half an hour later, Su Yuchen was sound asleep, just as Su Yuchen was lost in thought. Liu Ruyan suddenly spoke up, Xiao Chen, we're almost at school. Do you need me to help you carry your suitcase inside? Su Yuchen replied, that would be wonderful, thank you so much, Sister Yan. Liu Ruyan tentatively asked, Xiao Chen, could you give Sister Yan a chance? Su Yuchen asked, somewhat puzzled, what kind of chance? Liu Ruyan answered, give me a chance to be your wife master. Su Yuchen paused, thinking to herself, wife master. What a strange title. Xiao Bai, seeing this, spoke in Su Yuchen's mind. Oh dear, host, this is a characteristic of a matriarchal world. It's like how girls called boys, husband, in your past life. Liu Ruyan continued, seeing that Su Yuchen hadn't answered her question. Xiao Chen, I know this is sudden, but I can give you some time, whether you agree or not. You have to give me an answer, okay? Hearing Liu Ruyan say this, Su Yuchen replied immediately, okay, Sister Yan. Liu Ruyan breathed a sigh of relief upon hearing Su Yuchen's words. 5 minutes later, the car stopped, and Liu Ruyan took Su Yuchen's suitcase from the trunk. Liu Ruyan held the suitcase in one hand and took Su Yuchen's hand with the other. Seeing that Su Yuchen didn't resist, Liu Ruyan felt a little excited, thinking to herself, it seems Xiaochen doesn't dislike me. I'll start slowly from here. The two walked into the campus, and Su Yuchen's appearance and height attracted many people's attention. Liu Ruyan felt very annoyed by the stares from some girls. Taking Su Yuchen's hand, she quickened her pace. After walking for a while, they arrived at the registration area. Liu Ruyan put her suitcase aside and joined the long queue, holding Su Yuchen's hand. A girl nearby glanced at Su Yuchen's appearance, then at Liu Ruyan. Since most students were accompanied by family members to register, the girl nudged Liu Ruyan and, unsurprisingly, said, "Excuse me, sister, could you please give me your brother's contact information?" Upon hearing this, Liu Ruyan looked at the girl and refused. No. The girl didn't give up and continued, "Don't rush to refuse me, sister. I promise I'll treat him well." Seeing the girl's persistence, Liu Ruyan said, "I said no, don't you understand?" The girl looked at Su Yuchen, somewhat reluctantly, and left. Liu Ruyan looked at Su Yuchen, feeling somewhat helpless, thinking to herself, what kind of behavior is this, asking someone for the contact information of the boy she likes. Looks like I need to get Xiao Chen to agree quickly. The registration process was completed quickly. Just as Liu Ruyan was about to leave, she remembered something, grabbed Su Yuchen's clothes, and pulled her back. She whispered in Su Yuchen's ear, "Don't forget, you haven't paid me back for soiling my pants." She then blew air into Su Yuchen's ear. After blowing air, Liu Ruyan released Su Yuchen and said, "I'll come see you during the week off." After speaking, Liu Ruyan turned and left, leaving Su Yuchen standing there alone. Xiao Bai's voice rang in Su Yuchen's mind, "Host, what do you think of Liu Ruyan?" Su Yuchen replied, "Not bad. For a guy like me, it's like a game changer." Xiao Bai suddenly asked tentatively, "You like her?" Su Yuchen smiled slightly and asked in return, "Xiao Bai, what do you think?" Xiao Bai replied, "This system doesn't know, but this system will always be with you." Su Yuchen heard Xiao Bai say this. "I was touched, but I didn't say anything." Then they headed towards the dormitory. Seeing this, Xiao Bai asked, "Hey, host, where are you going?" Su Yuchen then spoke up, "I'm not going back to the dorm to put my luggage away, are you going to let me put it away?" Xiao Bai didn't reply after hearing this. Su Yuchen, holding her suitcase, looked at the slip of paper given to her by the admissions officer. She was somewhat speechless, the handwriting was so messy. Then she thought of Xiao Bai, and muttered to herself, "It's free from headquarters, might as well use it." She then communicated with Xiao Bai in her mind. Su Yuchen placed the slip of paper on a bench on campus and asked, "Xiao Bai, can you read what's written on it?" After scanning it, Xiao Bai gave Su Yuchen the exact location. She picked up her luggage and continued walking. She muttered, "D in building, D in building." Su Yuchen walked and looked around for her dormitory building, when suddenly someone bumped into her. The girl who bumped into her saw a flash of panic on her face, and then quickly went to help Su Yuchen up. The girl then spoke up, "Sister, I'm so sorry." When the girl saw Su Yuchen's face clearly, she paused, then asked, "A boy?" Su Yuchen was confused by the question, then asked, "What about a boy?" The girl explained, "Excuse me, I didn't mean anything by it." The girl continued, "Excuse me, my name is Lin Yuyan. I'm sorry for bumping into you. To express my apology, I can treat you to a meal, how about it?" Su Yuchen thought for a moment and said, "No need for a meal, I just want to ask one question." Lin Yuyan blurted out, "Excuse me, what is it?" Su Yuchen said, "Excuse me, where is D in building?" Lin Yunyan pointed in a direction and said, just keep walking straight ahead. Su Yuchen continued walking with her luggage. Lin Yuyan stood there quietly watching Su Yuchen's back. Su Yuchen finally reached her dormitory, put her things on the floor, and sat down on the bunk next to her to rest for a bit. Just then, the door was pushed open. Su Yuchen turned her head, and the person behind her turned to look at her as well. Both of them spoke at the same time. Qin Yan. Su Yuchen. Qin Yan continued, I didn't expect we'd be assigned to the same dormitory in university, that's great. Su Yuchen replied, and the other too. Hearing Su Yuchen's question, Qin Yan said, I only know that Shen Mokshuan is also at this school. As for Cheng Yunxi, I really don't know anything about him. Qin Yan glanced at Su Yuchen, then at the luggage on the floor, and said, why don't you tidy up your bed and luggage first? You'll have to do it sooner or later anyway. Su Yuchen tidied up her belongings while chatting casually with Qin Yan. Suddenly, Qin Yan asked, do you remember that time we did a daily wage payment back in high school? Su Yuchen thought for a moment and said, of course, after all, we went together. Qin Yan continued, asking, what's your relationship with that girl you went to dinner with the other day? And she even touched you. Su Yuchen saw Qin Yan's gossipy expression. He then said, it was just a small accident, don't overthink it. Qin Yan, his face full of disbelief, said, good brother, then tell me, what did that girl whisper in your ear? Su Yuchen thought of what Liu Ruyan had said that day, and blew into her ear, her face gradually turning red. Qin Yan, seeing this, laughed and said, Su Yuchen, what did that girl say? Why are you blushing? Su Yuchen replied, she didn't say anything, it was just an accident. Seeing that Su Yuchen was unwilling to talk about it, Qin Yan obediently shut his mouth. At this moment, the door was pushed open again. Shen Mokshuan walked in. He muttered something to himself, the fourth floor isn't bad, a little better than the sixth floor. Then, seeing the two people in the room, he said, well, it seems I'm still very lucky to be in the same dorm as you two. After entering the dorm, Shen Mokshuan began unpacking his belongings. Su Yuchen looked at the last empty bed. She thought to herself, sigh, I wonder if the last person will be easy to get along with. Qin Yan looked at Su Yuchen and asked, Yuchen, what's wrong? Su Yuchen smiled and replied, I'm fine. Meanwhile, on the other side, Liu Ruyan was processing various documents in her office. Before she finished processing the first batch, a second batch arrived. Looking at the pile of documents, Liu Ruyan felt a little helpless but could only continue processing. At this moment, there was a knock on the office door. Liu Ruyan thought to herself, no way, so many. She said, come in. After seeing Zhang Ruaoshui, Liu Ruyan slowly breathed a sigh of relief, and said, oh, it's you. That's good. By the way, is there any news about what I told you last time? Zhang Ruaoshui asked, which thing? Liu Ruyan calmly replied, to hire someone to sit here and process these documents. Zhang Ruaoshui thought for a moment and said, it's already here, it should be here soon. Hearing Zhang Ruazu's words, Liu Ruyan perked up and said, after I finish dealing with these things and completing the handover, let's go find somewhere to have some fun this afternoon. Zhang Ruaoshui said, okay, then you'd better hurry. Liu Ruyan didn't reply, took a deep breath, and began processing the documents. While Liu Ruyan was busy, the office door was knocked again, but Liu Ruyan seemed not to hear it. Zhang Ruaoshui, sitting beside her, said, come in. A girl entered, followed by a boy. The girl saw Zhang Ruaoshui and asked, sister, what are you doing here? Zhang Ruazu's eyes darted around, and she said, I'm talking to President Yan about work. The girl seemed incredulous and asked, really? Before Zhang Ruaoshui could speak, Liu Ruyan preemptively said, yes, we were indeed discussing work-related issues. Seeing this, the girl remained silent. The boy took 2 steps forward, looking at Liu Ruyan. He said, Liu Ruyan, long time no see. Liu Ruyan stopped her work. Her gaze shifted from the documents to the handsome Chu Wenshuan in front of her. And then he spoke. Indeed. A silence fell. Liu Ruyan looked at Chu Wenshuan and suddenly said, just focus on your work here and don't get any other ideas. Chu Wenshuan calmly replied, okay. That's right, Chu Wenshuan was one of Liu Ruyan's suitors during their school days. Even after Liu Ruyan turned the tables on him, he refused to give up and called her whenever he had time. Even after being blocked, he would change his number and call again, until Liu Ruyan changed her phone number. Chu Wenxuan saw a job posting online and thought he might be able to run into Liu Ruyan. It seemed like fate took pity on him. His gamble paid off. However, there was an information gap. Second day of school, morning. At 6 o'clock in the morning, the alarm rang. However, Su Yuchen glanced at her phone. The time displayed was 6:04. Su Yuchen thought to herself, it's only 6:04, just 10 more minutes. Just 10 minutes. Su Yuchen closed her eyes again. As expected, 4 minutes later, Su Yuchen fell asleep. Xiaobai waited silently for 6 minutes. Then, gently, provided the wake-up service again. Looking at Su Yuchen, it reminded her, it's 6:14, how much longer do you want to sleep, host? Hearing Xiaobai's words, Su Yuchen quickly went to wash up. After washing up, Su Yuchen grabbed her school bag and went to the cafeteria to buy breakfast. After getting her breakfast, she headed towards her classroom. Su Yuchen climbed to the 4th floor again. She searched for her classroom in the 4th floor hallway. A sense of helplessness washed over her. The dorms on the 4th floor, Su Yuchen, accept that. But the classrooms on the 4th floor too. This world is so unfriendly to short people. Su Yuchen walked to a door sign, stopped, and looked at the note from yesterday. After confirming with Xiaobai several times, she finally pushed open the classroom door. After opening the door, Su Yuchen looked around the classroom. The students in the class were also looking at Su Yuchen standing in the doorway. Su Yuchen paused for a moment, then walked into the classroom. Seeing that the second row by the window was empty, she went over and put her backpack in the desk drawer. She took out her breakfast and started eating. As expected, Su Yuchen was immediately surrounded by the girls in the class. By the time Su Yuchen finished her breakfast and wanted to throw away her bag, she realized she couldn't get out. She sighed, helplessly put the bag in her shirt pocket, and sat quietly. At this moment, a girl asked, "Excuse me, classmate, what's your name?" Su Yuchen answered, "My surname is Su, and my given name is Yuchen." Su Yuchen chatted with the other girls. Inwardly, Su Yuchen hoped the counselor would arrive quickly. This scene was still a bit too stimulating for Su Yuchen. At 7:30, a woman pushed open the door and walked in. She saw a group of girls gathered together. She picked up the blackboard eraser and tapped it on the podium. She spoke, instantly attracting everyone's attention. The woman on the podium said, "You all, return to your seats and keep quiet." The girls in the class quickly returned to their seats and sat quietly. The woman on the podium picked up the chalk and wrote her name on the blackboard. After finishing writing, she turned around, threw the chalk on the lectern, and said, "My name is Liu Yunxi, and I'm your counselor. My requirements for you aren't high, just don't cause me trouble. Do you understand? Anyone who causes me trouble, don't blame me for being ruthless." Su Yuchen looked at her counselor, her mind drifting back to Liu Ruyan. Thinking to herself, Liu Ruyan, Liu Yunxi, are they related? Su Yuchen's train of thought was immediately interrupted by a voice. Liu Yunxi, standing on the podium, spoke, "Now, please introduce yourselves." Liu Yunxi pointed to the first student against the wall, and said, "Starting with you." After that student finished introducing himself, Liu Yunxi wasn't very satisfied and said, "No energy. I couldn't hear you at all. Say it again. Start over. You think you can get into university speaking so softly." After the girl reintroduced herself, Liu Yunxi said, "Okay. Next." After the second student finished introducing himself, Liu Ruyan said, "Okay, that was energetic, next." Soon it was Su Yuchen's turn. Su Yuchen stood up, and all the girls in the class looked at him. This scene triggered Su Yuchen's social anxiety. He began to speak. Hello everyone, my name is Su Yuchen, I like overalls and basketball." After speaking, Su Yuchen immediately sat down, still a little nervous, his heart pounding. The student introductions quickly ended. Liu Yunxi spoke again. "Now, choose your own deskmate." As soon as Liu Yunxi finished speaking, Su Yuchen's deskmate picked up his backpack. He threw it on the table next to Su Yuchen. Then quickly sat down in the seat next to Su Yuchen. Looking at Su Yuchen, he said, "Hello, classmate, this is our second time meeting, right?" Su Yuchen looked at the girl in front of him and thought of yesterday's events. He said, I remember now, you're the one who bumped into me yesterday. Lin Yuyan looked a little embarrassed and said, I'm sorry, classmate, I really didn't mean to. Su Yuchen said, it's okay, I know you didn't mean to bump into me. Lin Yuyan looked at Su Yuchen and then said, you're a really special guy. Su Yuchen paused for a moment and said, no, I'm pretty much the same as other guys. Then Su Yuchen smiled slightly. He continued, for the next while, we'll be deskmates. Please guide me in my studies. Lin Yuyan immediately replied, me too, please guide me. Meanwhile, on the other side, Chu Wenxuan was working diligently. At this moment, Liu Ruyan and Zhang Ruaoshui walked in together. Liu Ruyan looked at Chu Wenxuan, who was working diligently. She said, not bad. Hearing Liu Ruyan say this, Chu Wenxuan felt he still had a glimmer of hope and said, President Yan, could you give me a chance? Liu Ruyan knew what Chu Wenxuan wanted to say and looked at him with disdain. She said, shut up. Forgot what we said yesterday. Do your job well, understand? Chu Wenxuan didn't say anything more and continued working with his head down. Meanwhile, Zhang Ruaoshui looked at Liu Ruyan and teased, President Yan is so charming. I wonder if that little boy will be angry if he sees this. Upon hearing Zhang Ruazu's words, Liu Ruyan thought of Su Yuchen. She began, Ruaoshui, I need your help with something. Zhang Ruaoshui asked, what is it that you need to ask me? Liu Ruyan pulled Zhang Ruaoshui out. Chu Wenxuan looked up after hearing the door close. Looking at the door, he muttered to himself, Liu Ruyan, you forced me to do this. 8 hours of work ended. Chu Wenxuan returned home from get off work, opened a shady website on his phone, and looked at the products. He hesitated. He thought of Liu Ruyan's gaze and her rejecting attitude. He felt a little resentful. Looking at the adult products on the website, and seeing the seller's promise of discreet shipping, he decisively placed an order. After filling in the address, he put his phone aside. He muttered to himself, even if you don't agree, I can still cling to you. Who told me to like you so much?